What's going on, guys? Luke22SV here, and welcome to the 19th round of the career mode of Season 3 here for the US Grand Prix. And we got just 3 races left to go. We've got a 16-point gap over our teammate Max Verstappen and a 35-point gap to our next rival Devon Butler. It's a 3-horse race then, with just 3 rounds left in this fight. And it could all get very close with just 3 races to go. Verstappen is in good form, as is Butler. Ourselves, we've got a little bit of work to do. We're coming to one of our least favourite tracks on the calendar. It's just not a track that I particularly do well at, and I imagine you coming here on the wheel for the first time as well. We're up against it really coming into this weekend, and Verstappen is in hot form as well. Particularly in qualifying, he probably should have won the Mexican race anyway. After qualifying first, he had a grid penalty, but we come on to our best lap again. Just like in Mexico, our best lap has come at the start of the session this time. For whatever reason, we just haven't been able to hook it up in at the end of the session, and we've got a little bit of traffic here with Giovinazzi in our way, but not too much of a problem. We're up on our previous time anyway as we go through the sort of S's. It's not really my favourite track either, to be honest, in terms of, I think it's a little bit overrated. We set a purple first sector, just about avoiding getting any corner cutting there on the entry curbs into that corner, but looking quite handy actually in the first sector. If we're going purple, tend to do quite well in the first sector, but yeah, not really the best track on the calendar, to be honest. It's nice to see a track in America, but this track really just doesn't really get you going, to be honest, in terms of racing and everything else. Really, it's just not really the most exciting track. I mean, we've had a couple of good races here in the past, but not really too many to speak of. But yeah, I mean, hopefully there'll be a good track in America, I think, one day, but at the moment I just don't think this is the best one available. But we come round then, we've set a personal best sector 2. We're up by a long way on our previous time. I think we must have had a bit of made a hash of the last lap we did, but we come towards the end of the lap now. We're going to see where this lap time puts us overall. We're currently down in P12, but we come around the last corner to see where this will put us provisionally. Of course, we've got plenty of cars still yet to run, and we go into provisional pole position, which is actually better than what I would have thought. You know, we've got past Vettel, but come the end, we're down in P8 and a second off Verstappen again, just like we were pretty much in Mexico. We were quite far off our teammate Verstappen, and yeah, just proving that we're really just we're driving a little bit too high, on the difficulty a little bit too high for our actual ability at the moment. But we go into the race then from P8, and Verstappen has got a good chance of actually taking the lead of the championship at this point. He could even if we finish 5th, that could actually allow him to take the lead of the championship, or at least get equal. So we need a better result than 5th really if we want to keep the lead of the championship, and Verstappen winning the race. So with that being said, here's the grid order then for the US Grand Prix. Verstappen, of course, keeping his pole position this time, Weber alongside him. The 2 McLarens, Butler in 4th behind Norris, so Butler still got work to do in his championship. Signs, Vettel, myself, Hulkenberg doing quite well in the Haas, Leclerc, Fiat, Giovinazzi, Bottas, and then the 2 racing points of Ricciardo and Perez, Magnussen, Hamilton, and then Gasly, Stroll, and then Albon and George Russell at the back of the grid with a penalty. So let's go. Let's start this US Grand Prix. We need a good start here. Of course, our starts haven't been too handy recently, so with those 5 red lights coming on, we're going to be away in USA any second now, and we're away now, and of course we're going to get a poor start, but we're going to try and dive bomb into turn 1. We see the 2 Williams and the Haas actually get past us there, but we dive into turn 1 and we get spun round by Bottas, and we hit another car, and the virtual safety goes out. We got a 5-second penalty for being spun round by Bottas, and we've been spun into our teammate Verstappen's out of the race. And oh, that's a huge disaster for Verstappen, and actually in the grand scheme of things there, that's actually helped us out by seeing our teammate end up getting swiped out of this race, thanks to Bottas. Here's a replay of what happened. What a crazy start to the race that was. We try and dive bomb into turn 1, and Bottas just tags us, and we're sent flying into our teammate. That's just the most unfortunate, lucky incident we could have possibly asked for there. Here we go. Here's the on-board from Bottas. You know, we're just looking to dive into turn 1. He could have pulled out of that there, I think, and he just decides to take us out, and we're flying into our teammate. And Yeah, incredible really. Is he on board with Verstappen heading into turn 1, just minding his own business? He's got the lead of the race, he's probably happy, and all of a sudden his teammate comes flying out of nowhere and he's out of the race. He's going to be losing points, but at the moment we've got a 5-second penalty as well. So when we come into the pits, we're going to have to take a 5-second penalty. We dive down the inside of the Williams on the restart of the virtual safety car. We're being a little bit optimistic there on the inside of Danny Kvyat. We've got Ricciardo now is behind us as well, so he's had a fairly decent start from his position. He's now looking to try and line up a move. We're trying to line up a move ourselves and Danny Kvyat. We dive down the outside of Danny Kvyat and Charles Leclerc as well. So we're up into P8 there. A good move on the outside of them. Leclerc fighting back. We kind of give him a little room as possible. And up into P8 we go. And our next target is Sebastian Vettel. And Valtteri Bottas is ahead then. So Bottas has ended up P6 after all that. And we get the message that Max is out of the race. Butler is going to be in dreamland now at this point. He's witnessed that one Red Bull fly out the race and one Red Bull fly into his teammate. And now we got a 5-second penalty. We've got to work really hard if we want to get some decent points today. Lucas Weber leading the race then, and we've got 13 laps left to go to see if we can do anything here. Vettel going on the outside of Bottas. We're looking for a move on the inside of the pair of them. We dive down on the inside and oh no, we've made a hash of that. We lost a chunk of front wing, and again our second collision with Bottas in just a matter of laps, and Vettel has got past him too in the end, and we've lost a chunk of front wing there, and we're going to have to pit at the end of this lap surely if we want to recover any points there. But yeah, we're losing time now. We're understeering like a dog through these corners, and Vettel is surely going to get past us immediately. We're holding him up, and we've then just got past him as well. We're trying to defend actually, but yeah, it's to no avail, and Hulkenberg is up in dreamland in P5, and Vettel, this is surely going to be an easy move. We're going to try and defend. We're defending as hard as we can, a little bit of argy-bargy there on the straight, but yeah, we've got to try and get back into the tow. We're going to pit at the end of this lap, I think, but actually no, we denied that, so I thought this would be a better idea to pit this lap. We know maybe we're trying to hold everyone up, but trying to think about a move on the inside again of losing the position to Vettel, but we get a bit of oversteer there and we're trying to correct it, and we've crashed into Leclerc and we're out of the race. Leclerc has lost a huge chunk of front wing there and we're out of the race. What a disaster this has been for Red Bull. Both Red Bull cars out in the first 2 laps. Both top 2 in the championship, both out of the race. So we're going to have a 16-point gap to Max Verstappen as we head into Brazil. So the gap has not changed between ourselves and Verstappen. What about Butler though? It's a perfect opportunity for Butler. We're out of the race. Oh dear, that was awful. It couldn't have gotten any worse. Here's a replay then. We are on the outside. You can see our front wing is just half of it's just gone. We try and dive back down the inside of him. But yeah, to no avail. We're just on the exit of this corner, a massive chunk of oversteer. We just try to stop it, but again, yeah, poor driving really. And Leclerc losing a chunk of front wing, so Leclerc is going to be in trouble here. Here's the onboard from Leclerc. You can see his teammate just getting past us there. We're trying to fight back on Vettel, but it's no avail. Leclerc seeing a good opportunity to get close this time with us taking a weaker line, and I just don't understand. We had so much oversteer and then we tried to correct it, and Leclerc just, oh dear, that was awful. But yeah, that's the end of that then, and we're going to have to see who won the race then. Surely there's a Ferrari celebrating, so surely it must have been Sebastian Vettel then that somehow managed to win that race from where he was then. He was in P6, and indeed it is Vettel, but Leclerc is 3rd. I don't know how that's happened, but yeah, Butler 2nd. I mean, that's the best possible result he could have asked for, I guess. I don't know why Vettel ended up winning that race, but it was Lucas Weber who was leading after all that happened. I don't know what's happened there with the end result, but Butler's finished 2nd. We ended up finishing out of the race, but Bottas got a penalty in the end. So why did Bottas get a penalty? And both the Red Bulls end up being out of the race, and he got a penalty for colliding with us, but we also got a penalty for colliding with him, so I'm not really sure how that works. Also not served, he would have pitted as well. Yeah, but anyway, GG, good logic there. There's not really been too much good logic in this race, but Vettel goes up to 6th, Hamilton down to 7th, Leclerc is overtaking the other Mercedes and Bottas, so Ferrari probably overtaking Mercedes in the Constructors too. as well. But you can see a 17-point gap to Butler, so it's going to be all to play for. Just 2 rounds left. Made it actually more interesting as we go into the last couple of races of the season. And yeah, this could be a good end to the season for one of us three, and of course Ferrari taking over third in the title fight then. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one today. As of now, I'm playing F1 2020 and recording my team as we speak. So I hope you enjoy, like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.